What if I told you that humanity's oldest religious text, written over 3,500 years ago, contains not one, not two, but multiple creation stories? And here's the mind-blowing part. It openly admits it might be completely wrong about all of them. Today we're diving deep into the Rig Veda, a collection of over 1,000 hymns that have been chanted continuously for millennia. These aren't just ancient prayers. They're windows into the minds of our earliest ancestors, filled with cosmic mysteries, practical magic, and wisdom that, honestly, feels surprisingly modern. The very first word that opens this massive collection? Agni, the fire god. Not Indra, their supreme deity, but fire itself. This single word choice reveals everything about how these ancient people understood reality. The opening hymn goes like this. O Agni, Lord of the sacrifice, I pray to you. You before whom the ancients bowed, the one we adore. Summon the gods to our feast. Come to us easily, lovingly like a father comes to his son. Come, bringing us joy. Notice something fascinating here? This isn't distant, fearful worship. These people are literally inviting their gods over for dinner. They saw the divine as family, as friends who could be reasoned with, bargained with, even criticized when necessary. Fire wasn't just a tool to them, it was the bridge between human and divine, the mouth that carried their offerings to the gods, the light that pushed back the darkness of ignorance. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Most religions give you one creation story and expect you to believe it completely. The Vedas? They give you multiple versions and basically say, pick your favorite, but honestly, we're not sure about any of them. The Golden Egg Story. Picture this cosmic scene. In the beginning, there was only endless dark water. Suddenly, a golden egg appears, Hiranyagarbha, containing the seed of absolutely everything that would ever exist. The heat inside this egg becomes so intense that it splits apart. The top half becomes the sky, the bottom half becomes the earth. But here's where your brain starts to hurt. The hymn says the egg came from the Supreme Being, but also that the Supreme Being was inside the egg. It's a paradox that defies logic, but maybe that's exactly the point. Maybe the divine is beyond our neat categories of inside and outside, before and after. Okay, so this next one is honestly my absolute favorite because it's basically ancient agnosticism written as poetry. Just listen to this. Then there was nothing that was non-existent, nor anything that was existent. No air, no light, no heaven, no space. Only something stirred in the still, by its own will. And here's the kicker. After describing this kind of cosmic awakening, the hymn asks, who really knows where it all came from, this creation? Even the gods came later. Only he knows, he who fashioned it all. Or does he? Did a 3,000-year-old text just end with, or does he? That's actually more intellectually honest than, well, most modern discussions about the origin of the universe. Now this one presents God as the ultimate craftsman, Vishwakarma, the cosmic architect. He's got eyes on all sides, mouths everywhere, arms and feet in every direction. He's welding heaven and earth together, kind of like a divine blacksmith. But then the hymn asks the question that honestly keeps me up at night. If he offered everything as sacrifice before he began creating, what did he build the world with? From what wood did he carve reality itself? The text just leaves us hanging there, minds totally blown and, well, questions multiplying. The fourth story is definitely the most debated. A giant cosmic being, Purusha, is sacrificed, and from his dismembered body comes, well, everything we see. His mouth becomes the priestly class, his arms become warriors, his thighs become merchants, his feet become servants. This verse has honestly been used for centuries to justify social hierarchy. But here's the thing. It might have been added later by people with political agendas, or it might have actually been a subversive message, saying that all humans, regardless of their role, come from the same divine source. The real beauty is in the interpretation you choose. The ancient sages really seemed to understand that texts would be read through the lens of the reader's heart. But these weren't just philosophical texts for ancient intellectuals. These were practical guides for real people with real problems. There were specific hymns for everything you can imagine. New mothers had sleeping spells to help their babies sleep through the night. And get this, the same spells were used by burglars to make sure homeowners stayed asleep during break-ins. Talk about dual-purpose magic. There were healing chants for doctors, death-repelling spells for the critically ill, and prayers for safe pregnancy and childbirth. My personal favorite is this absolutely savage spell for destroying enemies. Oh, Indra, make me a bull among my peers, a conqueror of my rivals, a slayer of my foes. I tread on your heads as you gather at my feet. Now speak, as frogs croak when out of water. These ancient people did not mess around when it came to dealing with their haters. There were elaborate rituals around Soma, their sacred drink that modern scholars think might have been psychedelic. Entire ceremonies revolved around pressing the plant, mixing it with milk, and offering it to the gods while chanting, "Flow, Soma, flow, flow sweet and pure, Indra's beloved, our panacea, our cure." Even death wasn't the end in Vedic thinking. They had beautiful funeral hymns addressed to Yama, the Lord of Death, who was believed to be the first mortal who died and then found his way to the realm of the gods. Come, O Yama, king who traveled first to the lofty heights where the gods reside. Go forth, on the ancient paths to the highest heaven, where your fathers wait. They believed that four-eyed dogs guarded the entrance to the afterlife, wandering among the living to identify who would be called next. You could even see these dogs in the night sky. They associated them with the constellations we now call Canis Major and Canis Minor. Death wasn't feared as an ending, but welcomed as a homecoming to the source from which everything came. After thousands of verses about gods, sacrifices, spells, and cosmic mysteries, how does this ancient masterpiece end? Not with divine commandments or threats of punishment, but with a simple, beautiful prayer for human unity. The very last hymn goes, "Let's come together now to speak our minds, to raise voices in harmonious song. Let's work together, sharing our thoughts like the wise have taught us all along. May our prayer be one, our goal supreme, our brotherhood forever strong. May we march to the beat of a single drum. May our hearts in kinship be bound. May our minds concur despite dissent. May harmony and bliss abound." After exploring the deepest mysteries of existence, they conclude with, "Can't we all just get along?" It's a message that feels honestly desperately relevant in our divided world today. So what can these ancient voices teach us today? 4 profound lessons emerge. First, intellectual humility is wisdom, not weakness. In an age of absolute certainties and rigid thinking, the Vedas remind us that saying "I don't know" can be the most honest and intelligent response. Second, multiple perspectives can coexist. You don't need one correct answer to every question. Reality might be big enough to hold many truths simultaneously. Third, question everything, including your deepest beliefs. The ancient sages weren't afraid to doubt their own creation stories. They understood that growth comes from examining our assumptions. Fourth, despite all our differences, cultural, religious, social, we share fundamental common ground. We all came from the same cosmic source, and we're all trying to make sense of this beautiful, mysterious existence. These 3,500-year-old hymns remind us that the biggest questions don't always have simple answers, and that's perfectly okay. In a world demanding certainty about everything, maybe we need more of that ancient Vedic humility. This is what we think happened. But honestly, we're still figuring it out. The journey of understanding is more important than the destination of absolute knowledge. If you found these ancient mysteries as fascinating as I do, subscribe to my channel to learn more about the Vedas and Upanishads. There are thousands more stories, philosophical insights, and practical wisdom waiting to be explored. Hit that notification bell and let's continue this incredible journey through humanity's oldest spiritual traditions together.